Good morning all of you, good morning everyone, right? Yes, my students, right? Now see, today we are going to discuss about directions, direction sense. Somebody will say direction, somebody will say direction sense. Direction sense, right? How many directions are there for us? So directions, say this one is Indian map. If you think this one is, you feel that this one is Indian map, right? So if you want to go to Jammu Kashmir, so this is there here Jammu. Yes, my students. If you want to go to Sri Lanka, is there down at here, Sri Lanka will be there. So everybody says that, so we are going to north. If you are going to Jammu means you are going to north. Yes, my students. So if you observe the Indian map, Jammu is there at the top of the Indian map. It means that if you go to upwards, that will be called north. That will be called north. So you can blindly keep one thing in your mind. Our right always is east. Our right always is east. East opposite is west. If you go to upwards, that will be called north. North opposite is south. So these are the fixed directions, we cannot change these directions. These are the fixed directions. We cannot change this direction, these are the fixed directions. Keep blindly in your mind, always your right is east. If you see our Indian map, east is there here. So your right side always denotes east. Yes, my students, right? So this one is east, this line only east. This one only east and opposite is west. And this line only north, north opposite is south. So going upwards, every time we will take, north. So somewhere you started and you are going upwards. So that will be called always north. Going upwards, always north. Going downwards is south. Going downwards is south. Going to your right, always east. Going to your right, always east. Going to your left, always west. So don't blindly don't keep in your mind. Keep that always your right side is east and your head is north. Those two are enough to keep in your mind. Now see, suppose if you take this total part, this line belongs to east and this total part belongs to between north and east. So this is called northeast. This is called northeast. This is called northeast. Yes, my students, right? Yes. Now, now see, one more part if you take here. Yes. One more part if you take here. This line only west and this line only north and this total part is belong to northwest. Northwest. Right. Now see. So northeast, northwest and this total part here, this line belongs to south and this line belongs to west and this is called southwest. Southwest. This is called southwest and this part is called southeast. This part is called southeast. Yes, my students. Now if you take the directions here, here main directions are east, west, north, south. East opposite west, north opposite south. South opposite north, west opposite east. Now see. When you are doing the sums, you need to keep that in your mind. Here this diagram you need to write. When you are doing the sums, first you write always your right side east. East opposite west. Always your head is north. means going upwards is north, going downwards is south. So, this is called northeast. So, this one is called northwest, and this one is called southwest, and this one is called southeast. So, these are the directions. Directions cannot be changed, those are the fixed directions. Yes, my students, these are the fixed directions. Directions will not be changed. Now, one more point about directions. These are the directions here: north, south, east, west. When you are going upwards, will be called north always. You are going upwards will be called always north. So, when you are going upwards, it means that you are going to north, and if you take the right turn clockwise, if you take the right turn clockwise, right turn clockwise direction, always right, right side, right side. So, going upwards, turning to right means going upwards, turning to right. You can turn in clockwise direction. Going east, so this is called east, and turning to right side means clockwise only. So, clockwise is right side, clockwise is right side. So, going downwards is called south, going downwards is called south. Clockwise direction is called right side, clockwise direction is called right side. Going west, clockwise will be called right side. So, right side direction, if you want to go to north, if you want to turn right side means you need to turn clockwise direction. All of you know clockwise very well know, right? Clockwise direction. Now, anti-clockwise is called left. Anti-clockwise is called left. Anti-clockwise is called left side. Anti-clockwise is called left side. So, clockwise is called right side and anti-clockwise is called left side. Yes, my students, right? Now, see, these are the basic points here, right? One more point here. Now, see, sometimes they will give morning and evening questions. Morning and evening questions sometimes they will give. Okay. So, Nayanthara is facing, Prabhudeva face early morning. So, Nayanthara's right hand is there at the back of Prabhudeva. Sometimes they will give that type of questions. What is morning session? So, morning session means the sun rises in the east and the shadow falls to, now think that suppose this is morning session, sun rises in the east, sun rises in the east. If you are traveling towards, rises in the east, if you are traveling towards west, your shadow will fall in front of you, ahead of you. Yes. Suppose if you are traveling towards north means upwards, your shadow will fall to your left side. If you are traveling towards north, your shadow fall to your left side. Suppose if you are traveling towards south, your shadow will fall to your right side. So, keep that in your mind. Traveling towards south, shadow will fall here. Traveling towards north, shadow fall to the side. Traveling towards west, shadow will fall in front of you. Shadow will fall in front of you. Yes, every time shadow will this side only. But when you are traveling towards south, it comes right side. We are traveling towards north, it comes left side. We are traveling towards west, it comes in front of you, means ahead of you. Such type of morning session questions will be given. Evening it will be reversed, right? We can discuss at the time of questions we can get, right? Now, see, here one more point you need to keep in your mind when directions are given to you. I think all of you know about Pythagorean property, Pythagoras theorem. Pythagorean property, all of you know very well about that. So, some distance it travelled here, another distance travel. So, what is the distance from the initial point to final point means you need to take the shortest distance. Somebody travel, some such a travel 4 kilometers here and another gentleman travelled 6 kilometers here. What is the starting point to ending point distance means? Not this distance, you need to find the shortest distance. So, at that time you need to use Pythagoras property. What is Pythagoras property? Side square, this is one side, this is another side. Side square plus side square. Side square plus side square equal to hypotenuse square. Side square plus side square equal to hypotenuse square. So, this formula you need to use to find the shortest distance. Yes, you need to find always maximum 99.9% shortest distance only. So, what is the distance from initial point to final point? So, wherever you started the journey, that is called initial point. That is called initial point, and this will be called final point. So, what is the shortest distance from initial point to final point? So, that will be called Pythagoras property. You can use EVA to find the distance. Yes, my students, right? Now, I will give some examples to you. We can discuss by that examples, right? Yes, my students, right. One example I will write just to find out what answer you will get here, right? Yes, my students, right. A person travels a distance of 7 km towards east. A person travelled a distance of 7 kilometers. A person travelled a distance of 7 kilometers. Distance of 7 kilometers. A person travelled a distance of 7 kilometers towards east from his house. Towards east from his house. Yes, my students, right? Next one is given that then he travelled 7 kilometers towards north. Then he travelled 7 kilometers towards north. 7 kilometers towards north. Yes. Now, next one is given that then a distance of 7 kilometers towards east. Then a distance of 7 kilometers towards east. Towards east. And finally 7 kilometers towards north. And finally 7 kilometers towards north. Now my question is, what is the vertical distance travelled by him? What is the vertical distance travelled by him? What is the vertical distance travelled by him? Yes, my students, let me know what is the answer for this question. Yes. What is the vertical distance travelled by him? A person travelled a distance of 7 kilometers towards east from his house. Then he travelled 7 kilometers towards. Then he travelled 7 kilometers towards north. Then a distance of 7 kilometers towards east. And finally 7 kilometers towards north. What is the vertical distance travelled by him? 7 kilometers towards east, 7 kilometers towards north, and then a distance of 7 kilometers towards east, finally 7 kilometers towards north. What is the vertical distance travelled by him? A person traveled 7 kilometers towards east. East means always your right side. You draw right side, that is called always east. Keep that in a point blindly in your mind. 7 kilometers towards east. 7 kilometers towards. This is the house. You started from this place. This is the house. You started from this place. 7 kilometers towards east. Always your right side is east. Next point. From his house, then it travels 7 kilometers towards north. North means upwards will be called north. Always going to upwards will be called north. So, north, 7 kilometers to north. Yes, from this point 7 kilometers to north. Right? Now, then a distance of 7 kilometers towards east. Again from this place, you are going to your right side. East means right side. So, 7 kilometers to east. Finally, 7 kilometers towards north means upwards. 7 kilometers to upwards. What is the vertical distance? This is called horizontal distance. This is called vertical distance. 7 plus 7, 14 kilometers is the vertical distance. Vertical distance, this is called vertical distance and this is called horizontal distance. So, what is the vertical distance travelled by him? 7 plus 7, 14 kilometers. Yes. Same question, I am not changing the question. Yes. One more question for the same data I am asking. One more question for the same data I am asking, right? Right. One more question for the same data, keep that in your mind. There is no change in the data. I am asking the same for the same data, one more question. At which direction he started his journey? At which direction he started his journey? At which direction he started his journey? Yes. Yes, my students, right? Yes, one more example I'll give, right? I rubbed it, I given one question to you, but I rubbed it. Yes, because video is not clear, that's why. Right, one more example I'll give, right? A person started from his house, travelled 8 kilometers towards east. A person started from his house. A person started from his house and travels 8 kilometers. And travels 8 kilometers. Started from his house and travels 8 kilometers towards west. Towards west. Towards west. Right? Then he travels 6 kilometers towards, then he travels 6 kilometers. Then he travels 6 kilometers towards his left. Towards his left. Towards his left. Next one. Then he 8 kilometers. Then 8 kilometers towards. So read carefully. Started from his house and travels 8 kilometers towards west. Then he travels 6 kilometers towards his left. Then 8 kilometers towards west. Towards west. And then 4 kilometers. And then 4 kilometers towards south. 4 kilometers towards south. Now he is asking that finally he turns right and travels 5 kilometers. Finally he turns right and travels 5 kilometers. travels 5 kilometers. Now, what is the horizontal distance traveled by him? What is the horizontal distance traveled by him? What is the horizontal distance traveled by him? Traveled by him. Yes, my students, right? What is the horizontal distance traveled by him? Read carefully here. He started his journey from his house, travels 8 kilometers towards west. Then he travels 6 kilometers towards his left. Then he travels 8 kilometers towards west. Then he travels 4 kilometers towards south. And didn't stop. Finally, again he turned to his right and travels 5 kilometers. He is asking what is the horizontal distance traveled by him. Yes, my students, right? Any one of you? Now see, 8 kilometers travel towards west. Your right side always east. West means your left side. So this is the house if you take here. This is the house if you take here. He started his journey from his house and travels 8 kilometers towards west. 8 kilometers towards west. This is the first starting point. 8 kilometers towards west. Yes. Now, what happened here? Next one, I am writing here because figure will come down, right? So, this is 8 kilometers. Next one, what is the next point here? So, this one is completed. 8 kilometers towards west. Then, what happens here? He travels 6 kilometers towards his left. Left means anti-clockwise. Left means anti-clockwise. So, this person is traveling like this. Anti-clockwise means this one. So, travel 6 kilometers towards his left. Left means anti-clockwise. 6 kilometers towards left means down. See once here. These are the directions. So, right side and left side. So, right side and left side. Right? So, left means down direction. Towards left is left means down 6 kilometers. So, this is also completed. Then what happens here? 8 kilometers towards west. Again west means 8 kilometers towards west. So, this is 8 kilometers. Now, 8 kilometers towards west and then travels 4 kilometers towards south. South means down direction. 4 kilometers towards south. Finally, means from this point, finally, he turned to his right. Right side means clockwise direction. So, clockwise direction, which direction? Clockwise means finally he turned to his right and travels 5 kilometers. So, from this point, finally turn to his right. So, turn to his right means clockwise direction, clockwise direction. Yes. Now, see, he travelled 5 kilometers. Now, what is the horizontal distance? This is called horizontal, this is called horizontal, this is also called horizontal. So, 8 plus 5. So, totally 21 kilometers it travelled towards horizontal distance. 21 kilometers is the answer, right? Here he started his journey towards east, towards west. Towards west means your right side always east. Keep that blindly in your mind. Keep that blindly in your mind. Keep that blindly in your mind. Always your right side is east. Always, whatever face, direction you face, always your right side is east. Because directions will not be changed, our India map will not be changed. Jammu Kashmir always at the top of our country. Means going to head will be called north. We cannot change. Going to down will be called, going to Sri Lanka means going to down. We cannot change Sri Lanka. So, directions are fixed. So, you need to keep that in your mind blindly. Always your right side east. East opposite is west. Your head is north and your down is south. Right? Now, see, first he travelled towards west means this side. This is the house, west, right side opposite. After that what happens? Then he travelled towards 6 kilometers towards his left. Left means anti-clockwise. Left means anti-clockwise, right? 6 kilometers. Then 8 kilometers towards west. Again west, 8 kilometers. After that 4 kilometers towards south means down. So, these are called horizontal distance and these are called vertical distance. The question is asking as horizontal distance. 8 plus 5, 21 kilometers, right? One more example. Surya travels 3 kilometers east. Surya travels 3 kilometers east. Keep that in mind, is saying east means your right side. 3 kilometers east and then turns and then turns and then turns right and travels 4 kilometers and travels 4 kilometers. Now the question they are asking, what is the distance between the initial and final positions? What is the distance? What is the distance from initial and final positions? Initial and final positions. Yes, my students, any one of you? Surya travels 3 kilometers towards east and then turns right and travels 4 kilometers. Now he is asking, what is the initial and final position distance? Initial and final positions distance. Yes, my students, right? These are the fundamental questions. Tomorrow we can do by PPT, right? So today fundamental questions only, right? Now see, Surya traveled 3 kilometers east. Surya is here 3 kilometers east. So going to our right side will be called east, right? Now see, from there what happens, and then turns right. Turning right means your clockwise direction. So this is clockwise direction, turns right. So when you are doing the sum, always write your map here. So this is north, south, east, west. So going to clockwise is called right, going to anti-clockwise is called left. Going to clockwise right, going to anti-clockwise left. So better to draw the diagram, right, then you won't get any confused. So right side anti-clockwise is left, clockwise is right. Now what is given there, you see. Then it turns right, right means clockwise. Traveled 4 kilometers. So this is the final point. This is initial point, this is final point, the distance they are asking. I told we can use the Pythagoras property. Side square plus side square equal to hypotenuse square. That is the Pythagoras property. Side square 3 square and another side square 4 square is totally called 9 plus 16. So root of 25 is 5 kilometers. So this is called 5. The initial and final distance is 5 kilometers. Initial point and final point distance means you need to find shortest distance, not the traveled distance. The shortest distance from initial to final point, that is called 5 kilometers here. Yes, my students, right? The distance from initial point to final point, you need to find the shortest distance. Yes, when you are calculating from Vizag to Kakinada, the shortest distance only they will calculate. Going to Tuni, going to Elementary, going to Anakapalli, going to again Vijayawada, coming to Tirupati, they won't calculate this total distance. The shortest distance they will calculate and they will keep as kilometer rod here, 11 kilometers, 12 kilometers like that. That is called the shortest distance, not the travelled distance. Here the travelled distance is 3 plus 4, 7 kilometers. The initial point and final point distance is asking. Distance from initial to final, the shortest distance you need to find. We can use the Pythagoras property to find the shortest distance. Yes, initial 3, final 4 only, correct only, but the shortest distance you need to find. Yes, somebody using that 0037, we are not using analytical geometry, gentlemen, right? That is called shortest distance between 2 points. Somebody written that 00 and 37. So when you write 00 and 37, this is first coordinate, second coordinate. This is first coordinate, second coordinate, x1, y1, x2, y2. So this will not be used here. This is called coordinate geometry. Shortest distance means there you need to find the points origin to 37. That is called shortest distance. Here origin is not given. Initial point means where you started the journey. Yes. So this point we cannot use here. This is coordinate geometry. Yes, my students, right? One more example I will give, right? A boy walks 7 km towards north. A boy walks 7 kilometers towards north. Next he travelled, then he turns to his right. Then he turns to his right. Then he turns to his right. Yes, my students, right? Travel 7 km towards north, first point. Then he turned to his right. Right means clockwise direction. Next one, travel 13 kilometers. Travels 13 kilometers. Right, next point is, then he turned to his left. Then he turned to his left. Turn to his left. And travelled. Turned to his left and travelled 11 kilometers. 11 kilometers. Now he is asking that what is the vertical distance starting point to end point? What is the vertical distance starting point to end point? What is the vertical distance starting point to ending point? Starting point to ending point. Yes, one more example, this one, right? Can I get answer from any one of you? Starting point to ending point. 7 kilometers towards north, then he turned to his right, travels 13 kilometers, then he turned to his left, travels 11 kilometers. Now he is asking what the vertical distance, starting point to ending point. I will give options to you. 11 is the first option, 18 is the second option, 21 is the third option, 13 is the fourth option, and the last one is 19. Yes, my students, right. He is asking the vertical distance. This is called vertical distance, this is called horizontal distance. He is asking the vertical distance. What is the vertical distance he is asking from starting point to ending point? Yes, my students, right? Yes, 18 is 100% correct only, just we can discuss now. See, what is the given question once we see how they given? A boy started at 7 km towards north, always going upwards is called north. Going upwards is called north, that is 7 kilometers. Then he turned to his right. Right means anti-clockwise. Right means anti-clockwise. Travels 13 kilometers. 13 kilometers. Then he turned to his left. Then he turned to his left means down or up. So these are the directions. Turn to his left. So anti-clockwise is called right. Anti-clockwise is called right. Or clockwise is called right. We are doing clockwise is called right. So now he is saying that suddenly it turned to his left means upwards. How many kilometers? 11 kilometers. So this is the vertical distance, this is the vertical distance. 7 plus 11 is 18 kilometers. Very easy question. One or two gentlemen and gentleladies getting confused. Where you are getting confused means right and left. Keep blindly in your mind, clockwise is right, anti-clockwise is left. Yes, my students, right? I will give one more example to you, right? Mr. Satya travelled 7 kilometers and turned to his right, turned to his right, 7 kilometers travelled, and again turned to his right and travelled 7 kilometers. Travelled 7 kilometers. Now he is going in north direction. Now he is going in north direction. In which direction he started his journey? In which direction he started his journey? Yes, my students, right? In which direction started his journey? So keep that in your mind. Such type of questions are given. Starting initial direction is not given. When this type of questions are given, once you say, I started in north direction, not belongs to this question. I started in north direction, traveling in north direction. I turn to right, again turn to right. It means that what is the initial direction I am going? For that I am coming in opposite direction. When I turned one right and again right, right and right. When initial direction is not given, suppose if you think that the person is traveling towards north, turn right, again right, it means that when two directions are same, right side and right side, what is the initial direction you are traveling? For that opposite you are coming. That is one point you need to keep in your mind. And another point, what is the another point? Suppose I am traveling towards north. I am traveling towards north. I am traveling towards north and I traveled one right and another left. One right and one left. What happens here? What is the initial direction I am going? For that same direction I am going here. So initial direction I am traveling, for that same direction I am traveling. One right, one left. See, right plus right is coming. Initial what we are going, for that opposite we are coming. Right plus left. So what is the initial? For the same we are going. Now see here, 7 kilometers direction is not given. You turn to his right, one right. Traveled again, turn to his right, another right. Right plus right. So what direction initially is there? For that opposite direction you are coming. But the question is asked that in which direction he started his journey? In which direction he started his journey? Yes, my students, right? Think and write. I am giving explanation not for this question. General explanation I am giving here. Once you see, then you can get this question answer. See, I traveled towards north. One right I took, another right I took. It means two rights, right plus right. What is the initial direction? For that opposite I am coming. I traveled in one direction, one right and one left. What is the initial direction? For that same direction. He is asking in which direction he started his journey, not going. So this is going direction. Started means this place. Yes. Now he is traveling towards north, he is saying one right, another right means for the same direction, opposite direction you will get. Yes. Where he started his journey? Where he started his journey, not going direction. Now see, initially is going, now he is going in north direction. Two rights are there means, now he is going in north direction means previously started in going one right and again right. So this is called the original sum. Now he is going in north direction. Now he is going in north direction means previously going to south, one right, another right. Now he is going in north direction. So where he started his journey is going to south means he started his journey in north. Yes, my students, right? He started his journey. Where he started his journey? You are coming from house to college. So college road you are traveling, but you started his journey at your house. You started his journey at your house. If you want to travel towards south, you need to start your journey at north only, right? Yes, my students, right? Thank you all of you. Tomorrow we can do by PPT some questions, right? Thank you all of you.